The ever-ready bunny is a sloth compared to her. I'll tell you what, that's amazing. Okay, here we go. Woodrow Wilson once said, "You are not here to merely make a living. You are here to enable the world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you only impoverish it and yourself if you forget that errand." Let me introduce you to someone who is not impoverishing the world. They are enabling and enriching greater vision and hope and achievement. And his background is extraordinary. I had an opportunity to meet him a few days ago over the phone, and we really talked about his background. His name's Gary. All his friends call him Skip. And he's had an extraordinary path. After high school, yeah, and he brought the cheering section too. He's a cool guy, isn't he? Awesome. He came from a poor background. He didn't have much, but he said he was always a dreamer. And as he was going through high school, he looked at the military. He looked at people who were fighting and dying to provide freedom, and something grabbed his heart. So when he got out of high school, he went into the military. But he just didn't want to be an average serviceman. In the Air Force, he was an EOD. It was a bomb tech. You know, someone willing to put on his minimal, if it was a big enough device, no protection would help, but he would stand there and protect others with his presence. After the military, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. So he literally worked a bread truck. He drove a bread truck for a couple of years trying to figure it out. And then he decided, you know, I want to serve my fellow man, and I think I'll do it through medicine. I think I want to be a medical doctor. And as he was evaluating that, he met a couple of folks in his church who were chiropractors. And he said, you know, something grabbed my heart. I knew it wasn't going to be the same level of prestige, not the same money, but something about it felt better to me as a way to serve. And so he got his bachelor's from Berkeley, went through chiropractic school. You know, most people don't know this. If you look at the educational protocol of chiropractors and medical doctors, other than the surgical and internship rotations, they're almost identical. So it's a massive amount of study. And he became a chiropractor. Denver, Colorado area, over 10 years, built a hugely successful practice. Networking, gave such great service. Others would refer others, and he actually ended up working with a lot of pro athletes, members of the Colorado Avalanche, Brian Trottier, a Hall of Fame hockey player, Denver Broncos, and at $30,000 a month, net in a chiropractic practice, that's very successful, but he's still exchanging time for dollars. 7 years ago, at the age of 44, someone mentioned network marketing. Over his 7-year career in one company, he's now got over $5 million in earnings. He's a 7-figure earner. He said, I was at 6 figures within 6 to 7 months. I've just never struggled in networking. I don't understand what people talk about. And I said, stop. Skip, think about this for a second. Think about your life from 18 to 44. Going through the military, sacrificing life and death situations, going through the extraordinary effort of the chiropractic medical education, building a successful business practice, networking with professional athletes. Of course, when you came to network marketing, it happened like that, because it didn't happen like that. You were 25 years of an elite leader preparation. The preparation is either before you get here or once you get here, but it must take place. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to the stage someone who's going to continue to rock your world, as his greatest passion now is helping others become elite leaders and helping change the world. Please bring to the stage none other than Dr. Gary, Skip Campbell!
Awesome. It's great to be here. You guys, I got to tell you, he tells my story better than I do. I might have to hire that guy. He's pretty good. I want to, how'd you like to warm up, by the way? Were my opening speakers, were they good? You know, you get a call to speak here, and there's no way you're going to say no. I've spoke in front of people before, but not this many people. And like Tom said, there's a lot of underwear. And it's tighty-whities. Everybody's got tighty-whities, which is weird. You can't prepare for talking to this many people. It's just crazy. And then they say, oh, you're going to go right after Sir Richard Branson and Gloria. How do you follow Gloria? Seriously. It's great to be here, and I want to tell you a real quick story. 17 days ago, I had the opportunity to have my neck cut open and have 2 cervical discs implanted. I had suffered for 2 years with these discs. It was tremendously painful. And for anybody who's had discs, you know what I'm talking about. The doctor said, you're going to know. When you're ready to have the surgery, I tried chiropractic, I tried massage, I did it all. I fought it for 2 years. When you're ready to have the surgery, you'll know the headaches got so bad I wanted to eat a knife. And so I called him up, and he said, I can fit you in 17 days ago. And I said, okay, but can I speak 17 days later? He goes, yeah, you can speak. Don't jump around. He didn't know Tony was going to be here. But you can speak. But then as a parting gift, he sent me home with hospital-acquired pneumonia. And I don't know if you've ever had pneumonia. Pneumonia is a ton of fun, but hospital-acquired pneumonia is really excellent. And the only good thing that came out of that is opium-based cough syrups, which I highly recommend. If you even feel like you're getting a sniffle, get some of that stuff because you're really creative on opium-based cough syrups. So I thought I'd be able to speak. Well, about 9 days ago, because my throat's all swelled up and feel like I got a golf ball right here, and my throat is actually pushed to the side, my voice box has pressure. 9 days ago, I sounded like a 4-year-old girl, and I was kind of worried about today. 4 days ago, I sounded like a 9-year-old girl, and I thought, well, at least I'm going in the right direction. I woke up this morning, and I was nervous, and I gargled, and I looked in the mirror, and I said something, and I said, it's at least my voice. It's not my regular voice. It's kind of my 13-year-old puberty voice, but it's at least my voice. But talking to myself in the mirror, trying to get myself pumped up, this puberty voice, I brought back all of these memories from puberty, from being 13 years old, and you shouldn't have these before you're talking in front of 15,000 people. You feel inadequate, you feel like everybody's staring at you, and you got all this weird hair growing all over the place, and you don't know what is going on, and now I have to come and stand and talk in front of you guys, and so, but I'm grateful to be here, no, you're gonna waste my time. I only get 20 minutes. So I always start every time I do this with the things that I'm really thankful for, and I always start with gratitude, and one of the things I'm really grateful for is this awesome profession. I am damn proud to be a professional network marketer. Same thing. I'm appreciative for my team. We have an awesome team, and I love and cherish every one of them, and not the income, but the joy that they brought us. I can't tell you how, and I don't know if Eric will ever understand the impact that he's had on so many lives, but I'm so appreciative for GoPro and everything that this guy does and the value that he brings to this profession, because I, like him, want to drag this profession into the mainstream. And so Eric has done such a tremendous job, and I want to tell you a really quick story. My wife and I have a habit of giving books that we've read and liked and learned from to our elite level leaders when they hit elite, or we do it for Christmas. And we've given books by Tony Robbins, and we've given books by Napoleon Hill. We've given books by John Maxwell, but the book we've given more was written by Eric Worre. And I don't know if he understands that he's in that group of people as far as influencers go, but Eric Worre is a rock star. And I'll tell you another thing. I went to the last year we went to the event, bought 100 tickets. It was the best decision we made as a business. We had our best year ever this last year. And I think that Eric played no small part in that. So I have just a ton of love and respect for Eric and Marina Worre, and I hope you guys do too. Thirdly, and maybe most importantly, my why, my family. I have a beautiful family. They're the reason I got into chiropractic. I love and adore those guys, and I wanted to do nothing but spend quality time with my family. My why summarized was I want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, as often as I want, with whomever I want. I was tired of having other people dictate my time. It starts, and I got to tell you the story real quickly. In the beginning, I'm a talker. I never had a problem talking. I would talk. My wife would sit in the back, and I would do the meeting, and every once in a while I'd go, hey, everybody, that's my wife, and she'd wave. And then on the car ride home, she'd say, don't ever do that again. And you're sleeping on the couch. But one day, we got double booked, and she had to go do a meeting. She did an opportunity meeting. 5 people were there. 5 people joined. I called her up and said, how'd you do? She said, they all joined. I said, well, what am I doing meetings for? I'm getting like 3 out of 10. You go 5 for 5. I'm going to retire. Now, she doesn't have any trouble talking, but she's not going to like this. I want you guys to give my wife a hand. Could you stand up, honey? Listen. Stand up. Make her stand up, you guys. Thank you. This is my childhood sweetheart, the most beautiful woman in the world and my best friend. And I'm not half the man without her at my side. I have 3 beautiful children there in the audience, too. Seth, Sherilyn, and Amanda all do network marketing. Seth, Sherilyn, and Jacqueline. Amanda's my daughter-in-law, my favorite daughter-in-law, by the way. They all do network marketing. Their spouses, Amanda, Zachary, who's a network marketer, Andy St. Pierre, who's here, and I got my grandchildren, 6.5 of them. Beautiful. I had pictures, but they didn't show. So beautiful family. I love my family to death. It's my why. My why had to change, though, because, and it was like, I'll give you an example. Hawaii, Bahamas are things. We love to go to the Bahamas. I wanted to be able to go to the Bahamas with my family, come back, unpack, and go, hey, let's go back to the Bahamas. Well, I can do that now. And so I had to change my why. And so my why changed a little bit. And I'm a little weird. You guys got to know this. I'm kind of strange. I think a little differently. And I sometimes see hidden meanings. You guys remember this movie? Remember that movie? Yeah, I see dead people. I see dead people. That's what I'm telling you. I see dead people everywhere I go, I see them. I see them in their cars after work, driving home in rush hour traffic, so that they can spend an hour or two with their family before they go to sleep and wake up the next day when someone else tells them to wake up and go where someone else tells them to go and do what someone else tells them to do for what someone else tells them they're worth. They don't know they're dead yet, but they're dead. The movie, those people didn't know they were dead. Neither do these people. They don't know they're dead. They're just not living. You guys see what I'm saying? Do I need to say anything about this? You guys ever been to this store? Now, I'm not bashing you if you work at Walmart, but do you think that was their plan? Listen, that guy on the right, if he asked me how old he was, I would have said 100, just to be nice, because I know he's $1.15. And he's working at Walmart. One day, he's just not going to show up. It's sad. It's tremendously sad. My why's changed. You guys remember this movie? Great movie, right? Neo, world's greatest actor, Keanu Reeves. Hey, you didn't pay for the comedy, so. Wake up, Neo, the Matrix has you. What's the Matrix? Do you guys remember what the Matrix is? It's a virtual world pulled over the eyes of all these people sitting in pods so that they think they're living life, but they're not, so they can supply energy to the machines. That's the idea behind the Matrix. You guys get it? What's different? This is Neo when he got woken up. He lived in that fake world. He knew something was out there. He knew there was something else. He knew there was something better. He knew there was something different. And he got woken up and he got unplugged. It's what I call an opportunity meeting. When you go and unplug people, it's an opportunity meeting, right? Can't unplug them all. Some people throw up, they freak out. You can't unplug them all, but you can unplug some of them. If you unplug them all, who's going to book your tickets to the Bahamas? Who's going to pick up your garbage? You can't unplug them all. We can't have all of them do it. You should be totally okay with that. I got to tell you guys, this has been an unbelievable experience. We've learned so much just from being here. And to be able to shake hands and rub elbows with people like you, people who have the same dreams and the same visions. I couldn't think of a bigger, better group of people that I would want to spend my time with. And I've learned so much from being here. I feel like Curtis said, I was a chiropractor. I've done this for 7 years. This is my first deal. I still feel like kind of a baby. And we've had a tremendous amount of success. One of the reasons was because nobody told us it was supposed to be hard. One of the other reasons we had success was because I just think differently. I'm not used to doing scripts. I don't read scripts real well. I just like to have conversations with people. And so I'm not afraid to have conversations with people. I don't look at it as rejection. I look at it as validation. I want to be in the 3%. I don't want to be in the 97. Who in here wants to be in the 97? Anybody? Aha, I tricked you. Who wants to be in the 97%? Yeah, so if you want to be in the 3%, it's easy. You just run around and ask different questions. Instead of asking people if they want to join your team, you could just ask them if they see what you see. And you know what? If they say no, if 97% of them say no, you know you're in the right group. You know you're in the 3%. If all of a sudden 97% of the people you start talking to agree with you, you need to get out of that. Right? Am I right? Okay, so you need to get out of that. And so we started changing the questions that we were asking when we were talking to people. We just started having fun with it. And we had asked people literally point blank, are you at high noon yet? Why can't I ask that question? Are you at high noon yet? Most don't even know what high noon is. They're plugged in, right? Are you at high noon yet? Is that a reflection on me if they say no, they're not at high noon? It's a reflection on them. People say, hey, is this one of those network marketing things? I say, absolutely it is. What do you know about network marketing? It doesn't work. Next. Listen, my product's awesome. It doesn't cure stupid, okay? Network marketing doesn't work. Are you joking? Did I really hear that? I know people have said that to me. Network marketing doesn't work. How much time do I spend on a guy like that? Network marketing doesn't work. I don't have the time. One of the reasons my wife and I built the way we built is that we built with urgency. We were in a hurry. We were competitive, but we were competing with ourselves. I love network marketing, and I love network marketing products, and I take network marketing products from all different companies. But I was competitive with myself. Everything was a little late. I wanted to get there a little bit faster. I wanted to get there a little bit sooner. I wanted to be bigger, still do. And so I go to bed every night, and I wonder, who's working harder than me? Who's outworking my wife and I? What can we do a little bit more? It permeated every single thing that we do, every phone call that we make, every meeting that we do. We were in a hurry. I used to talk really, really fast. This is me on drugs. I'm talking very slow. It seems like this is taking forever. But every single thing we did with a massive amount of urgency. And it permeated our group. We created all-out massive action. We had just a little bit of, I don't want Tony to hear this. I'm glad he's not here. Just a little bit of fear of loss. Just a little bit of fear of missing out. We turned that into all-out massive action, and it worked for us. And so if I could say anything to you guys, it would be simply that. Whatever you got to use inside of you, whatever there is inside of you that makes you want more, turn it into all-out massive action. Have just a little bit of fear of missing out. Somebody else is our circles are gonna intertwine. Our circles of influence are gonna overlap. If I get there before you do, I'm gonna pick up market share. That's my goal. I wanna make you better, but I wanna be betterer. All right? So you gotta have, I think, just a little bit of fear of missing out. I said earlier that my why changed, and it has. My why, it used to be my family. It became this desire to unplug people. If you walk around, and I've done this, and so I challenge you to do this. I hope that was my water. If you walk around and you start asking random people, I've done this. I did it at Costco just the other day. You start asking random people, why do you do what you do? You gave me tremendous service. The service manager was there to help us, and he gave us tremendous service. I said, why do you do what you do? He was stumped, dumbfounded. He did not know how to respond. Then he falls back on, what do you think the why is? What do you think everybody's why is that's not in this room? I gotta pay the bills. That's why I do this. I gotta pay the bills. What an inspiring why. I was awestruck by the significance of this man's life. Good man. I mean, he gave me great service. He was very polite. He was very nice. He lived an uninspiring why. It was depressing. If you go out and do this, you'll find the same dead people that I've been seeing. And I said to this guy, you don't have to come here to pay the bills. It's a system of belief you were given when you were a child. It's not something you developed. Our actions and decisions are based on our beliefs, and they were given to us as kids, a lot of them. And unless we go and actively reprogram those beliefs, they control our lives. I had the same beliefs. I had a great mother. I loved her. She did everything she could for me, but my parents were divorced when I was 10, and I was angry. And she never made more than $22,000 in a year, so how is she gonna teach me how to make 23? But that didn't stop her from dispensing all kinds of financial advice. Like, money doesn't grow on, it's the root of all. You guys had the same crappy mother. I'm totally teasing. I love my mother. I love mothers. Please, mothers, don't come up to me afterwards. I'm totally kidding. They were given those same crappy beliefs, and they guided their lives. Frick, money does grow on trees. I don't know what that lady's talking about. When I realized that you didn't just have to take what the world gave you, but you could go out and demand more, you think that'll change the way you think? You think that'll change the way you act? We got to change those beliefs, but we got to help those people change these beliefs because they have the same beliefs. Some people, like I said before, actually believe network marketing doesn't work. They actually believe that, and it guides their decisions and their actions. We have to go unplug these people. That became my why. My why became going out and finding people who had crappy, uninspired whys and seeing if they would like to live a life of fulfillment, a life of abundance, a life of freedom. When you can do that, it's the check beyond the check. It's what allows you to sleep at night. When you can find those kinds of people, and you got to ask those kinds of questions. I'm just thinking in my head, I was reading the scripts that my upline gave me, and I love my upline. I'm tremendously grateful for them. We had this little blue book. They didn't write them, somebody did, and I'm reading these scripts, and I'm like, this doesn't get to the root of it. This is just helping me find people who I want to join my team. This is about me. I want to make this about them. If you make this about me, your job is to find 1,000 people whose goal is to make you rich. If you could make it about them, if you can find out what they need and what they want, and if there's a way you can help those people, then I think you can have abundance and they can have abundance, and then when they have abundance, you really have abundance. And I think that's what this is all about. I think this is from the very beginning to the very end. It's never about you. If you make it about you, you're gonna lose. It's always about them. It's about them from the first time you talk to them. Can you help that person? Does that person even want help? Can you unplug them from that crappy and uninspiring why? And so we can have conversations with people. We don't need scripts. We don't need canned. I wish there was a sentence I could tell you that would get everybody to come to a meeting. There isn't. You could just go have conversations with people, connect with them here, and find out if they're even looking. And if they're looking, then maybe you have an answer. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But the only way to find out is to have them come. You guys, there was a time not too long ago, 8.5 years ago. My wife ran my front desk. We had a very successful practice. I was, like he said, I was seeing Denver Broncos and Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, go Broncos. World champs, by the way. Currently world champs, right? Very successful. Had all the money in the world. I thought it hung the moon. I thought $30,000 a month was, for a chiropractor, it's good. And I love your chiropractor, guys, because we don't do it for the prestige. We do it because we want to help. And there was no way I was going to be a network marketer. Seriously? Network marketing? No way I was going to be a network marketer. I went to school for 8 years. I had $200,000 in student loan debts. You could be a freaking network marketer? You kidding me? I have initials after my name. Stick my chest out. I belong to a country club. I taught an elective at the University of Colorado Medical School. I was a freaking doctor. I was never going to be a network marketer. And one day, somebody asked the right questions. One day I was skiing. Little girl skis right over my skis. She never saw me. She comes over a hill. She skis right over my skis. I saw her. I should have ran her over. She's 5. She's 5. She would have bounced down, hopped right back up, and skied on. They made her rubber at 5 years old. And who cares if she gets mad? I could take a 5-year-old. They don't have any defensive skills at all. You could just walk around all day long and go bam, bam, bam. I could take a gang of 5-year-olds. That's not what happened. I cut really hard and ended up off the trail. And there was a tree right in front of me. I had to cut again with a big, huge branch, and I ducked underneath it. It was an excellent skiing movie. I grew up skiing. My first job was ski patrolman. That branch was right where my face was going to be. And I didn't have a helmet on because they mess up your hair. So I pop up on the other side, and I thought, you want to know something about men, guys? We invented the jock strap in 1874 and the helmet 22 years later. It took us 22 years to figure out this is almost as important as this. So I don't have a helmet on, and I nearly end it all right there. When I pop up on the other side, I thought, oh my gosh, what happens? What happens if I'm not adjusting? What goes on in my practice? I'm still exchanging time for money. Financially, it scared me. It was the end of my life. And then I got introduced to this. And then I found out that when done right, and we are the ones doing it right, living in abundance, not stealing each other's people, that when it's done right, this is the purest, most beautiful way to make money on the freaking planet. And I'm here to tell you right now. Okay? I went from being a chiropractor who would never do network marketing to a professional network marketer who would never, ever be a doctor again. Thank you guys. I love you very much.